Well, hello, all you lovely people, and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at Lost Soul Aside again. And in case you're wondering, why are we doing this again? You've already made a video on this game. Then the first time I made this video with this game, we had technical issues with the game on the Legion Go. I was not able to get past one certain stage on the Legion Go, and the game was just not optimized properly for handheld PCs, I believe. But there have been a couple of patches that have already come out for this game, and those patches have kind of improved the game. At least I've now been able to get past that initial hurdle where I was not able to progress in the game. So the game had a few patches. One patch was on the 5th of September, and then there was another patch on the 9th of September. The 5th of September patch itself had fixed the previous issue. So I wanted to make a video on this game because I have been enjoying this game on my PC. I've been playing this mainly on my PC, and I have my own 2 cents that I want to share with you people. The IGN review just dropped, and I saw that this game only got, I think, a 5 out of 10, which means that it's a mediocre game. I have not been a fan of IGN game reviews. I don't know if you are a fan of IGN game reviews or not, but let me know in the comment section what you think about these IGN reviews. I think they were a bit harsh on the game, and this game is definitely not a 5. It's definitely not a 9 or a 10 out of 10, but I think it's somewhere between the 7 to 7.5 out of 10. So it's definitely better than the 5 out of 10 rating that IGN gave it. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the settings that I'm playing with. And after that, I'm also going to be commenting on my experience with the game. Let's start off with AMD Adrenalin first. So I am playing with AFMF 2.1, and I have AFMF 2.1 set on high as far as search mode goes. The performance mode is kept on quality. I'm playing with Radeon image sharpening, and the sharpness has been kept at 80%. Let's move over to some of these advanced settings where I have chosen multi-sampling as the anti-aliasing method. Morphological anti-aliasing has been enabled, and the anisotropic filtering has been enabled as well and kept at 2x. The texture filtering quality here, well, I've kept it on performance mode here, and the surface format optimization has been enabled as well. Let's finally get into the game and also talk about the game's performance. Oh, by the way, I also want to play this game with Plitch. If you don't already know, Plitch is a cheat strainer, one of the best that I've actually used. I have a dedicated video of this on my channel as well. So should you want to check that out, please feel free to. So I will play with Plitch in the background because I also want to show how does this game fare when you have background apps running like Plitch. So let's start this video. Let's get into the game. I'll share the in-game settings that I'm playing with, and I'll show you the performance of the game. All right, let's first get into the settings and take a look at the display settings. I'm playing at 800p. It is important that you play at this resolution only, otherwise the game will consistently and without fail crash. I haven't set any kind of a frame limit. VSync is off, and that's pretty much it when it comes to display. As far as graphical settings go, let's play with low graphical preset. Everything is set to low. Everything is set to the absolute lowest. I'm going to turn FSR on, and we're going to keep it on performance mode. There are only two options, performance and quality. Oh, balanced is also there. Sorry, I forgot. So there's performance, balanced, and quality. Let's keep it on performance. There's no point of this setting, which is ray tracing. Just turn it off. Generally, it should give me an option of frame generation, but it's not giving me that option here. Yeah, for some weird reason, it does give me an option of this on my PC. I don't know why it's not giving it here. But let's load into a game. Auto save. All right. Shall we go along with that? I think we can. So I'm just going to load this particular save. Now, I've been having a really good time with this game on my PC. I've been playing this on my PC, not on my Legion Go, because most of the games I do play it on the PC. It's only when I'm on the move that I choose to take my Lenovo Legion Go along, or when I plan to make these videos. So I do test out these games, however, on the Legion Go because it helps me do my commentary on top of these videos that I am making. Now, if you don't already know about this game, let me give you a little information about the game first of all. Now, this is an action RPG. Well, it's called an action RPG, but it's not exactly an action RPG, so to speak. It's definitely an action game. It's a third person action game. There are no RPG elements that I came across. If you have come across RPG elements, please let me know. I wouldn't call upgrading or morphing your sword to be RPG elements. Plus, there are no costumes, there are no shields, there are no upgrades to the person's look, to the character's look, Kazer's look in this case. So, there are no heavy RPG like elements here. The only thing RPG-ish is a skill system. So there are various weapons that you will come across. There are four in total. Right now, I only have three in this save, but there's also a scythe that you will come across later on in the game. The other game is on my on my PC. I've not uh, done a cloud save on my Legion Go. I've deliberately turned it off because I don't want to impact my PC save. So you will have four weapons. One is a heavy sword, one is a quick sword, one is a spear like javelin, which is this, and then finally you also have a scythe. My favorite weapon actually is either this sword here or this javelin spear because it gives you a lot of variations, and combat is definitely one of the strongest reasons for you to pick up this game. And that's one place where this game is liked by both critics and users as well, because the combat is really fast, it's fluid, it's actually a stylish spectacle that is both deep and satisfying. There are so many combos that you can do. I mean, for instance, when you have your scythe, you hit a person, the person goes up on the air, and then you can bring him down with a combo of your sword. I mean, there's just so much that you can do here where you can chain together a stunning array of combos with four different weapon types, like I told you. In this save, there are only three, and each has its own unique feel and move set. There's a parry system as well, which is pretty, I would say, responsive and rewarding. And the boss fights are epic in scope. I mean, they are really difficult. Some of them are extremely, extremely difficult. And the game's mechanics, that's where I have my complaints with the game's mechanics. Why? Because in some places it's so easy, especially when you're fighting these NPC characters before any boss battles, they are not very difficult. But when it finally comes to that boss battle, the first thing that you will notice is the difficulty level drastically changes. And this fluctuation or this variation in the difficulty level is what will take time to adjust. And what do I mean by that? Because you'll get so used to fighting these NPC characters, which might be a piece of cake. And then finally, when you are presented with a challenge in the form of an extremely challenging boss fight, you are not prepared because your mindset is that you're going to take these enemies down very easily. So when you finally come to these boss battles, you are not ready for that challenge. And this is where you can change, and then you lay it down, and you can do all these combos as well. Man, the combat system of this game is where I absolutely have fallen in love with it. In fact, I like it more than even Devil May Cry. What the developers have done with this combat system is extremely good. There is a dodge system as well, where you can like move very quickly, and as you progress in the game, you will get to upgrade your skills of even parrying, and you'll be able to club a lot of things with your weapons, which will give you access to these move sets, these additional move sets. Well, performance wise, it's doing pretty all right. It's giving me 40 FPS in terms of performance. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's definitely playable. Earlier, I was not even able to progress in the game, but now take a look at it. It's doing an okay job. This game is still not very smooth when it comes to playing it on a handheld PC, because as you may have noticed, there is definitely um, some kind of a stutter issue here. Oh, by the way, you can actually block as well. I've not been able to do it on time. Let's just move forward. There you go. So you can block, you can parry. You have four different weapon types, and each of them also give you access to certain different things. For instance, let me show you one example. Like this spear like javelin, you can just aim anywhere and bam. Similarly, when it comes to the scythe, well, you'll be able to latch onto it like a harpoon kind of a thing comes off it, and you can latch onto things and you can jump and then connect and keep on jumping from there on in. So each of these weapon types has something new to offer, and that's really the best thing about this game. The combat. There's just so much here that you're always going to be entertained. The boss fights also are epic in scope. I mean, some of them are so difficult that you will definitely need a cheat strainer. So that's what I'm saying. The variation in difficulty level is insane. And it definitely demands a mastery of the game's mechanics. Otherwise, you are going to fall when it comes to these boss characters. So, fans of character action games like Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden, they're going to love this. I mean, because this is uh, very similar, but I think an upgrade over even Devil May Cry's combat system. It's actually better. It offers a high skill ceiling, and it's a constant visual feast. So I cannot half how good it is. I mean, I've already done a lot of positive speaking about the combat. But what about the other things? Oh, the combat is definitely a highlight of this game. But when it comes to the other things, I think that's where the game requires polish. And that's why the complaint of so many people, gamers and critics alike, lies in the other aspects of the game, which is the story presentation. I think the story required good editing, meaning it's long drawn. I mean, what could have been done in, I'm just giving an example, what could have been done in, let's say, 14 or 15 hours? They've really stretched and made the campaign a very long drawn out process. So yes, you can finish this game very quickly um, if you use a cheat strainer, and but if you don't use a cheat strainer, you will feel like the game is unnecessarily lengthy, and that's what is bad about this game. Uh, I've spoken about this in my previous videos as well. I would rather have a very tightly knit story game which offers me like 12 to 14 hours of good and solid overall experience. Then I would have a long, drawn out, non polished game which just cannot deliver in terms of the narrative. So, here, I won't be as harsh as how IGN was. I would say that yes, it could have been a bit shorter, but it's not that bad. The characters are pretty all right. Some of the character movements, however, for instance, Celine, it's like she only has a couple of movements. Like she will only have this finger shown all the time. So the character interactions could have been a little more animated. I think it lacks polish there. Apart from that, the voice acting is horrible. In some places, it's actually good. For instance, your banter between Lord Arena and Kazer are respectable. They're not bad. But all the other characters, like Louisa, for instance, Celine, pretty bad. So some of the other side characters, their voice acting is bad. But I'll tell you what is actually good, and it took me by surprise. The lip sync, the lip movements of these characters are pretty accurately done. So I was pleasantly surprised that it's really that good because the voice acting, not that good. Lip sync, really good. So is this game now playable? Um, well, for most parts, yes, I would say yes, because you now have the game giving you over 40 FPS most of the times. You can, of course, even get into those high 50s. It depends. Apart from the occasional stutters that it has, I think the game performs rather well. And now it is a very pleasant experience on the Legion Go because, hey, you at least don't have that issue of game crashes. So you've been able to see that I've been playing this game for quite some time now, and I've not had game crashes happening, at least. And that's what I appreciate about the game now after the updates. By the way, this game has a development story as well. I'm sure you must have read about it. And this game has been in development, I wouldn't say hell, but in a very long development cycle. The game was first showcased, I believe, in 2015 or 2014, maybe around that time, or even 2016. So almost 10 years, almost a decade after it was first shown, was this game released. It was because it was originally created by just one maker, like one developer. And then now, what's good about this game is that the developer had funding, had backing, and got an entire team of other developers. With the help of a team, the developer was able to achieve all of this. So the finished product is not that bad. And if I had to rate this game today, I'd probably give it around 7 to 7.5. The story is okay, it's just that it's long drawn. What I love, apart from the action or the combat, are the levels, the level designs. Oh man, I mean, there's some places where this game looks incredibly gorgeous, guys. I mean, even here, when it comes to Mistwood, and there's a dimension called, I think, the Electronics dimension, where it reminded me of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you had Atlantis. It had a very Atlantic-y feel. Let me know if you feel the same about that particular level, the electronics dimension, that is, not the alternate dimension, and the to and fro between the dimensions, like when you move from one dimension to the other. It reminded me of that scene from Thor Ragnarok, where Loki, Hela, and Thor are traveling between these realms. So it kind of reminded me of that scene. So overall, I really like the combat. I love the combat. In fact, not just like it, I love the combat. I love the level design of this game. It's very good. The voice acting is let down, definitely. The story is a bit overdrawn. It could have been shorter, but I think overall it's not a bad game, and it's not a game which is a 5 out of 10. I think it's a game which is like 7.5 out of 10. How many of you agree with me? Please let me know in the comments section. The other thing that I will comment about the game is the game's overall design, like the traversal and the movement. uh, Sometimes it can be a bit clunky. I'll tell you why. Because the edges of certain places, like, you will have cheap deaths in this game, that's for sure. So although the game looks visually brilliant, I think some of the levels could use a little more thought, a little more polish, because the platforming sections can lead to invisible walls, it can lead to cheap deaths, and it's frustrating in some areas. And when the game had launched, it also had an issue with the game's save mechanism, but I think that's been fixed, so it does auto save now, and you won't have an issue there. So a lot of these issues that the game originally had on day one launch have been fixed through a couple of patches. On the 5th of September was big patch, and then on the 9th of September you had another patch. So overall, I would say this game is mighty good. I have had a good time with this game. I've had a very good time, in fact, when it comes to the combat, and when it comes to the overall feel of this game. I have not been disappointed. I was pleasantly surprised, I would say. And if I had to rate this game, I would definitely give it a 7.5. There is that final polish conundrum, but I think uh, all games these days, require that. So this game is not like uh, an exception. I think all games these days, most games these days, launch with performance issues on day one. I think it is the pressure that these developers are in, that they have to launch a game. Sometimes the quality of these games takes a hit because of that. Here, I would say that given that this game was developed by just one guy originally, and then you had the team working with the original vision, so there are certain limitations, certain things that look a bit clunky and outdated in terms of the game's traversal. Because of that, like I was telling you, yeah, I mean, there are some challenges that you will run into, like invisible walls, etc., and cheap deaths and all that. I think is all a result of the game originally being developed by just one person. But I'll tell you what, you know, this game has already exceeded my expectation, and I would be very interested to see what the developer and this team could now do in the future. The other thing is that this game was made with Unreal Engine 4, so not Unreal Engine 5. Sometimes in some assets, you can actually make that out. But it's not a bad looking game. Like I told you, the level design, well, it's brilliant, guys. It's in fact one of the key highlights of this game, in my personal opinion. The traversal system, not so much, but the visual appeal is definitely there. It is a game which looks incredibly beautiful. I mean, just look at it. How can you go wrong with this? There's so many other levels which look so good. So good, guys. There are platforming, you could say, issues, but the developers have tried to put in some platforming puzzles, some traversal puzzles, and they're not that great. I've been frustrated with that because of those cheap deaths that I was talking about. But for a single person's vision, I think the team has done a good job in taking that original vision forward. And because it was one person's vision, sometimes you can see that it was that solitary journey, and you can see that the developers who were later onboarded worked with that. And whenever you work with that kind of a vision, that kind of a singular person's vision or approach, you do have challenges, and then you have to have like workarounds around that, like how can we improve this, how can we do this to overcome this challenge. So that is what has impacted this game. This game is a byproduct of that, but having all of that in the background, still this game has delivered and it's bet my expectations. So I think IGN was a bit harsh when it comes to this game. I think this game is much better than the 5 out of 10 that it got on IGN. It deserves a bit more. The performance of the game, from the apart from the occasional stutters, as you can see, has been pretty all right. I've been getting between 40 to 70 FPS, somewhere between that with these settings, and the game looks pretty decent on that 8-inch screen of Legion Go. So the game actually looks good. And now you would also have these boss fights and all that stuff. So it's mighty good, guys. My time with the Lost Soul Aside game has been very positive. The performance has been pretty positive as well. As you can see out here, it had an immense amount of ambition. And what sets this game apart is this core gameplay loop of that combat. That is really good. Combat is everything that fans of this genre could have hoped for. And it feels familiar, it feels fresh at the same time. So that is what is great about this, guys. The game's other elements, well, if you can overcome those things like an unpolished story, very mediocre voice acting, some initial technical issues which were there, if you overcome all of that, and sometimes clunky level design, well, keeping those things aside, this game is a pure joy to play, guys. And the overall general consensus is that this game is pretty fun. It's not a perfect game, but it's a pretty good game. And you can absolutely have a great time with this game. And that's what I'm doing out here. I've played quite a lot of this game already. And every time I've had a good time with this. The block system is not bad. It's pretty satisfactory, actually. Even the parry system. And the parry system will only improve with time. As you upskill, it will improve. So overall, this is my 2 cents about Lost Soul Aside. Now it's playing pretty well on the Legion Go, as you can see. Even these action-heavy sequences with so many particle effects, it's doing a respectable job. It's giving me close to that 60 FPS mark even in these boss fights, and that is what is commendable. So overall, now I can recommend this game on Legion Go as well. In my original video, I could not because of those issues that it had, but now I can, and I would say it's a pretty good time. So do check it out. Do check out Lost Soul Aside, and let me know in the comment section what you think about this game. What has been your experience with the game? Let me know. Let's do this. Let's do this, and ooh, where did that guy go? Oh, on top? All right. I think I wasted that special ability there. All right. So that's it for this video, folks. Hope you have enjoyed this video. And if you have, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. I do make videos like this on the Legion Go. These are my Let's Play videos on the Legion Go. And apart from this, I have a lot of game reviews, I have gameplay videos, and I also have videos on products and items being reviewed, all products and items related to gaming, that is. So do feel free to check those videos out. You can also become part of this channel as a member for as low as $1, but that is an option, of course. It's not mandatory. To become a part of my community, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button, which is absolutely free. As far as this video goes, it's a wrap for this one. I will see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I will say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.